was talking to someone a few days ago and I felt she needed to see a counselor or a therapist. And she said, no, I am not sick. It is only sick people or people who have mental issues that see a therapist and a counselor. Hello. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time zone and when you are watching this. My name is Counselor Charity Ibabuchi. I want to thank everyone who has followed me, listened to me, subscribed to my channel, liked, commented on my videos. May the good Lord bless you. Today, I want us to explore a topic. I was talking to someone a few days ago and I felt she needed to see a counselor or a therapist. And she said, no, I am not sick. It is only sick people or people who have mental issues that see a therapist and a counselor. So I knew it was time to make a video or a broadcast on this. So let me know your opinion. Is it only mad people or people who are sick or people who are mentally derailed that should see a therapist or a counselor? Let me hear your opinion on the comment section. All right, let us move. So who should see a counselor? I want to start that way. Then maybe we'll look at who a counselor or a therapist is and then we'll move from there. Who should see a counselor or a therapist? Is it only the mad people like that lady said to me? You know, she was going through some family issues and all of that. I said, I think you need to see a therapist or a counselor. And she said, no, therapy or counselor, okay. It is for mad people, for people who are sick and all of that. Let me hear your opinion. All right, let's run. Who should see a counselor or a therapist? Or when should I see a counselor or a therapist? Number one, when you are experiencing overwhelming emotions. You are feeling stuck, you are anxious about something, you are depressed, or you are struggling to manage your emotions. Hey, it is time to see a therapist or a counselor. Did you hear that? So when you are feeling overwhelmed about something, you are experiencing overwhelming emotions, struggling with something, you are anxious about something, you are depressed about something, it is not a time to keep quiet. It is not a time to be silent. It's a time to speak out. You know, I don't know why they stopped this program. There is this program they do before for children. Speak out. I don't know why they stop it. So it is time to speak out. Number two, when you are facing significant life changes, you are dealing with a divorce, you are dealing with grief, you are dealing with trauma, any traumatic experiences, or major life transitions. I remembered few weeks to my delivery, the delivery of my third son, robbers came into the house. I was so traumatized. I was so traumatized. For days, I couldn't sleep. When it's getting to the time when they got into the house around to 10 p.m., you know, my heart will start pounding and all of those. You know, it was a period I didn't know better. If I knew better, I would have acted better. That point in time, I needed to see a therapist. I went through that trauma for years. When it is getting to that time, I can't even be outside at that time. I can't be outside at that time. When you are going through this, you're facing significant life changes, maybe going through a divorce, grieving, grieving. Recently, my husband lost his only sibling, and I saw how he went through that. I said, no, you need to see a therapist or a counselor. The pain is there. Losing the only one who is there for you, who you can call your sibling, you needed to see a counselor. So if you are in that area or you are going through that situation at the moment, you need to see a therapist or a counselor. Are you struggling with relationship, having difficulty communicating, resolving conflicts, or maintaining healthy relationship? You need to see a therapist or a counselor. Maybe you are married and you are finding it difficult to resolve conflict with your spouse. Let me not even talk about marriage. In a relationship with siblings, you find it difficult to resolve conflict with your siblings, then you need to see a therapist or a counselor. You have issues with communication, you don't know how to communicate, then it's a serious issue, you need to see a therapist. Number 4, you are coping with mental health concern, maybe managing symptoms of anxiety, depression, post-traumatic depressions and disorder and all of that, mental conditions. You need to see a therapist. Something happened to me during the COVID period. During COVID, I went through anxiety disorder that I needed to speak to a therapist. So sometimes when you are in that, don't keep quiet. It can degenerate into something else. You need to see a therapist if you have one mental health disorder or the other. When you are seeking personal growth or improvement, maybe you want self-improvement, you want to be self-aware, you want your self-esteem to glow and all of that, you just need your overall mental well-being. You need to see a counselor or a therapist. You are dealing with parental challenges. Hey, where are my parents? Welcome to the club. So many parents don't see the need to see a therapist or a counselor. They even tell you, is it needful? Yeah, it is. So when you are dealing with one parenting challenge or the other, struggling with your parenting strategy, struggling with discipline, emotional support for your child, you need to speak out. Speak out. A lot of people have died in silence. We have a lot of suicide incidents because people are not speaking out. People are not willing to share what they are going through with a professional. Please, if you are going through any of the aforementioned issues, please, reach out to a therapist, reach out to a counselor. Are you experiencing physical symptoms related to stress, dealing with chronic pains, sleep disorders, or any other physical symptoms or emotional disorders? Please reach out to a counselor or a therapist. So now let's look at all this. Reach out to a counselor or a therapist. Who is a counselor? Who is a therapist? Let's just walk through this. A counselor or a therapist is a professional who helps individuals, couples, families, or a group of people. It can even be an organization to, 1, explore and understand their thoughts, their feelings, and their behavior. Did you get that? A counselor or a therapist is a professional who helps either individuals, couples, families, siblings, group of people, organizations to, number 1, explore and understand their thoughts, their feelings, and their behaviors part-time. Yeah, that's who a counselor is. Is a professionally trained individual who can help you either as an individual or as a couple, as families, with your siblings, as organizations, to explore the way you feel, the way you behave. Number 2, to help you address and manage mental health concerns such as anxiety. Anxiety is a mental health disorder, such as depression, trauma. Maybe you are going through one traumatic experience. So someone asked me one day, okay, so when I hear a lot of trauma, what is trauma? Trauma is anything that can put you in perpetual fear. So let me tell you something. Someone was traveling one day and they left Lagos, and by the time they were just heading to Redemption Camp when the vehicle caught fire. People wounded, a lot of people sustained injury. Herself too sustained a little injury and all of that. I met her 3 years after, and she has not dreamt of traveling to anywhere. She's just stuck in Lagos. Travel for Christmas, no go for Easter, no travel. Even leaving her place to the church is almost an impossible task for her. Anywhere she cannot go with her leg, she doesn't want to. That's trauma. That's trauma. A professional who is trained as a counselor or as a therapist will help you address and manage such mental health disorders or concerns. Like I said, anxiety, depression, trauma, or relationship issues. Number 3, a trained professional who is a counselor or a therapist will help you develop coping strategies and skills to improve your overall well-being and the quality of life. They will help you to develop coping mechanisms, coping strategies, coping skills. How do I cope with this? Like I said to you, during COVID, I needed to see one because, my head was already going gaga. So I needed to see a counselor. All of these things we think they are just let them go and collect my money. No, it's not let them go and collect your money. All right. So a therapist will also help you walk through challenging situations like grief, like loss, or significant life changes. Maybe like divorce. You are going through a divorce. You are going through, grief. Maybe you lost someone so dear to you. Maybe a parent or your grandparents, your siblings or your spouse and all of that. And you are just grieving. You need to see a counselor or a therapist. They will help you walk through all of this. So just ensure that the person is a licensed professional. When I say licensed, has been trained. We have a lot of, someone met me yesterday. Okay, so we met for the first time like 3 or 4 weeks ago. And when she came in, I saw the resistance. The way she even came in to the counseling section will tell you that this one. So when she came, okay, so I introduced myself. This is what I do, blah, blah, blah. And we started talking. It was towards the end of the section, the 1 hour section. In fact, we even took more than 1 hour. By the time I gave her 1 hour, but by the time when I knew it, we were already entering 1 hour, 40 minutes. It was during that tail end that she began to confess that she has never in her life wanted to see any therapist or whatever. All of these names are just making people waste money. These are, because of all of the encounters she has had or experiences she has had with people. So why am I mentioning this? I am saying this because you need to see a professional, someone who has been trained. Don't go and meet a quack counselor or a quack therapist. Then you are saying they are just there to collect people's money. No, they are not just there to collect people. So look for someone who is a licensed professional counselor. We have the LPCs, the licensed professional counselors. We have the LMHC. We have the licensed mental health counselors. We have the licensed clinical social workers and all of that. We have the licensed marriage and family therapists. Yeah, we have the licensed psychologists and all of that. So ensure that, you meet all of this. So let's quickly look at 1 or 2 benefits you will have when you meet a professional counselor or a therapist. One of the benefits is that you will have an improved mental health. A licensed, a trained, a professional counselor or a therapist will help you improve your mental health. They will help you, manage symptoms of anxiety, depression, trauma, and other mental health issues. Yeah, they will also increase your self-awareness. When you meet a licensed therapist or counselor, they will walk you through, increasing your self-awareness. They will help you understand your thoughts, your feelings, your behaviors, and allow you to make positive changes. They'll just walk you through. I said recently that we're reviewing a book, Why You Act the Way You Do. A counselor will help you see why you act that way. And then if there be a need to change that way, he will also or she will also walk you through that approach or methods. And then again, better coping skills. Well, that's one of the benefits of working with a counselor or a therapist. You will have a better coping skills, coping mechanisms. A therapist will teach you and help you see effective coping strategies to manage your stress, your emotions, any challenging situations. Then they will help you through having an enhanced relationship. A therapy section can help improve your communication, your conflict resolutions, your emotional intimacy with your in any of your relationship, either relationship with your spouse, relationship with your children, relationship with your colleagues, just any relationship at all. Then personal growth and development. Yeah, when you work with a professional counselor or a therapist, you will have personal growth and development. Maybe by setting goals, a counselor will help you set goals and see how to, achieve those goals. Then you have a safe and supportive environment. When you see therapists, they are not blah, 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 blah people. They are confidential in nature. So anything you say to them stays with them, except, of course, if it's going to harm you or harm others, then, of course, they need to escalate either by referring you to So let me say someone who has a psychiatric issue, seeing a therapist or a counselor, and then you needed medication, he won't keep it there. He will need to escalate. He will need to refer either for you to see a psychiatric or a psychologist or someone who will use, or a clinical psychologist who will use medications and drugs to correct one or two things, and then increase resilience. When you see them, by the things they say to you, you will notice that you are not alone in this journey. Your resilience will be built, and then will be stronger, and then you have better emotional regulation. Of course, when they walk you through all of this, your emotional regulation will be better and stronger. And then finally, accountability and support. A therapist or a counselor will be there as your accountability partner, and then we give you the needed support that you need. Regular therapy sections will provide you with accountability and support, helping you to stay motivated and focus on your goal. So I want to believe that with what I have shared now, seeing a counselor or a therapist is not a taboo, is not a sin. They are there. God has put all of these things in place for your total well-being. So don't look down on them. It is not, I believe in prayer. I so much believe in prayers. But at the same time, our God is a God of order. He's a God of order, and He has put in place all of the things that you and I need. He said in His word that everything we need for life and godliness He has provided. And one of those, the place of a counselor or a therapist. I want to believe that with all I have shared with you in this episode, you have seen that seeing a counselor or a therapist is not a taboo and will not be. You need them when you need them. And so when next you feel any of these categories that we mentioned, please note that it is time to see a counselor or a therapist. Let me know in the comment section what you feel about what you heard. Thank you. Do not forget to like, to subscribe, to press the notification button so that you get notification anytime I come online. I will see you on my next. Stay tuned. Bye.